Thousands of years ago, ancient teachers described a hidden law, a law that can control your energy, your confidence, and your entire life. And it is the reason you rise and then fall. And if you don't see it, you will repeat the same cycle again. Now, this knowledge doesn't come from modern self-help books. It is knowledge that existed already multiple thousand years ago, and is nowadays summarized in something that we call the Kabbalion. After watching this video, you will know how to use this law for yourself to manifest what you want and to pass the test and experience also a greater rise. Okay? Now, in modern psychology's term, this law is the reason why people experience ups and downs also of motivation, for example. Like ups and downs when it comes to motivation, like going to the gym, right? Or focusing on one's business, for example, right? But even though this is true, this video is not about I tell you that you have to grind like a fucking motherfucker and be consistent. That's exactly what most people don't get. They don't get what this law is really about. Okay, they just tell you to force things and to grind like a motherfucker. Okay, this is not one of these videos. So what it's really about is, it's not about just physical action. Physical action is the expression of your being. In reality, it's about intention. Your intention comes from your being. And now you probably think, yeah, but physical actions may be the reason why things are working. Oh, really? Look at babies. Every baby takes naturally physical action without focusing on it. And later, if you observe these babies, 20 years later, every one of them has different results. They all take action. Sometimes they take even similar action. For example, everyone goes to school, what is like around 6 to 8 hours of your daily life. And still, some people live complete different lives, like become multimillionaires or have very great physique or great health, while others don't, right? So what this video is about is not just forcing things, okay? To use this law, it's not about just forcing things, it's about intention. I give you an example based on my story. So I go to the gym, and in the past, when I would go to the gym, let's say I would catch a cold, or I would have a very demotivating day. When I was catching a cold, even though I was still going, no, actually at the start, I tried to still keep going to the gym. And when I was not going, when I was really forced to rest, I was resistful. You know, like, fuck, what is happening? Why does this have to happen now? Right? That I was forced to rest more. Right? And as a result of that, I was not fully resting. And because I was resisting it down, you know, I was not experiencing a higher rise. You know, I was still feeling then, I was still not being able to understand fully the lesson. Okay? And to pass the test, it's necessary not just focusing on your physical action. It's especially important to focus on your attention. Okay? So nowadays, it looked this way that, like, I think 1 or 2 months ago, it was really a while. I was for a long time not ill. Very long time. But it happened, and this time I knew what to do because I practiced it already many times, this law, right? So I was just accepting it, that this is how it is, and I was just enjoying my time, that I was catching a cold, I was not going to the gym. There were also a couple of other things I was not doing as well, right? And because I didn't resist it, it didn't persist, right? What you resist persists. But how did I do that? I observed my intention. I have let go of my expectations. I was observing whether I have a voice that tells me you should do this. You should still keep your muscles. You should still keep grinding. So what this law teaches you when you fall is you realize what things you are still attached to, right? And these attachments are the ones that hold you back. You think you need them, Like when you're attached to your body, right? Your physical body, that needs still go to the gym. But the real lesson is actually to let it go. You observe it consciously as an experiencer, right? You look what you're still attached to. These are the things that are getting triggered, right? You need maybe to calm more down, or maybe you won't be able to perform the same way, like in your business when you make outbound or in the gym, right? Maybe you have really total down of the day, your performance lacks. This is now the real lesson, is to observe that rather than fighting it. And there's another lesson. If you can use that, it'll be so fucking hardcore easy to rise. Try it first in small versions, because a bit more difficult in higher forms. So here's a task. So for the next 7 days, I challenge you to try just to observe your energy when it falls and when it rises. And there's one lesson in that. When it falls, just observe it, right? Just do the things as you do, but try to observe it and accept it as best as you can, right? And what you notice, automatically, sooner or later, if you're just a little bit patient, the rise will come. That means you don't need to force things so that the rise will come. Sooner or later, you will pass the test and the rise will come anyway. And once you really consciously observe that over the days, maybe over one day, but also try to observe it over the entire week, you will notice that you will rise anyway in life. You need just to follow that, right? Just to follow that, just to observe the things and consciously experiencing if you have resistance in your body, to consciously experience that, right? Or your thoughts, like how things should be, how your mind tries to tell you how things should be. And you will automatically understand, boom, the better times will come. Something way better will happen. This is something that I tell myself, right? My affirmation. Something way better will happen. Something way better will come all along, right? And this is exactly what will happen. If you just assume something better will happen, right? If you're just patient, and then, as soon as this down goes away, boom, you will experience a higher up. So there's actually basically even a reason why you should be happy, why it is great that you experience this down, because the more you experience this down, the less you resist it, and the greater you're down, the higher the up. And once you understand this, there's even a reason to be happy. Why when you fall down, you will then just experience a higher up anyway, right? So you're already mentally prepared, okay, that means soon a great up will come, if you have a down. But this lesson is only learned if you stop resisting it mentally and emotionally, okay? Mentally and emotionally. It's not just about keep being consistent and grinding if you still have an intention of force, right? Sometimes it can be good to not force it or to not do anything. Sometimes it's still good to keep going. It depends on the case, and on your intention especially is what matters the most. Your intention is the highest factor. Your mental and emotional intention for creating your reality. And your physical expression is just, it's just an expression of your intention, of your being. So watch out and look for the challenge for the next 7 days. Look when you observe this down and focus to be observant of that rather than trying to resist it. And expect and anticipate that something better will come, that the rise will come, right? Because the truth is we'll experience these waves anyway, but you won't be stuck in the same wave if you don't resist it. Most people are stuck in the same cycle. In reality, life goes more and more up if you don't resist it and if you just observe it. If you just let go of a resistance towards that by observing constantly in your body as a feeling that arises in you. I have made also more videos about that, about letting go. Okay, so see you next time. Bye-bye.